Hi, I am Molly Wagner. I did my educational thinker on Booker T. Washington, and what was important about Booker T. Washington is his big thing is his movement for African Americans to work with amongst whites after Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. So he is a big advocate for that time, a big civil rights advocate, along with Martin Luther King. So I'll just read this kind of and talk. So he did the Atlantic Compromise speech where he called for Black progress through education and vocational training. He was big on vocational training to try to help convince whites, I guess, to let them segregate with them, or integrate. Not integrate, segregate. Segregate. So he's the African American. He was born into slavery, freed at age 9 by the Emancipation Proclamation, opened a school, Tuskegee Institute, now called the Tuskegee University in Alabama, and that provides higher education then and now for African American students. And he encouraged that blacks and whites to work together to gain economic strength through education. At the time, he did encourage education, but he encouraged vocational training. Like, he really believed in like labor work. I guess, he was looking out for, his motive was to help African Americans get out of poverty and to be included in with the whites and accepted by the whites. But his tactic was to encourage everybody, whites and blacks, to do this. But secretly he was helping the blacks, I guess, hopefully that makes sense. So major civil rights activists for his time to help promote jobs and education for African Americans. And then he was criticized by leaders of the NAACP because he wasn't demanding enough to further the civil rights movement. As in, Booker T. Washington had a lot of power for an African American, especially then. Well, not now, but for the time, yes. And he had a lot of donations, and he was a leader to help the movement for blacks to have equal rights. And so the NAACP thought because of all the money and power that he did have, he should have been maybe not as nice to the white people, I guess. But that's what I was saying earlier, his motive was to go at it in a peaceful way, we all work together instead of just let's have the blacks rise up alone. He wanted everybody to do it together. And Booker T. Washington, he also is the author of 14 books, including his autobiography. And that's it. Thank you.